Welcome to your sleep story. I'm so glad you're here tonight. Whatever this day was, however long it felt, however much it held, it is behind you now. Completely behind you. You made it through. And that is everything. So let's begin. Before I take you anywhere tonight, I want to count you down. From 10 to 1. And as I count, I want you to allow yourself to sink just a little deeper into wherever you are right now. Feel the weight of your body. Feel what is beneath you, holding you. And with each number, just let go a little more. 10. Allow your eyes to close. Gently, completely. There is nothing you need to see right now. 9. Feel your shoulders and let them drop as far as they want to go. 8. A slow breath in through the nose. 7. And all the way out. 6. Your hands. Feel them opening. Whatever you've been holding today, you can put it down now. 5. Your jaw is soft. Your face is soft. 4. Your legs are heavy, warm. 3. You're drifting, not asleep yet, but moving that way. 2. The day is behind you, completely and entirely behind you. 1. And now, tonight's sleep story, the relaxation. Before we go anywhere, I want to stay here with you for a moment. Just here, just now, because this moment, this exact moment right now, where you are lying in the quiet, deserves a little attention, a little kindness. Take a breath in for me, from the very bottom of the belly. Good, and let it go. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine that everything you were carrying today, every worry, every unfinished thought, every heavy thing is just leaving with that breath, just drifting away. You don't have to solve anything tonight. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't have to be anything other than exactly what you are right now. A person who deserves rest. A person who deserves sleep. Because you do. You really do. Whatever happened today, whatever was hard, whatever felt heavy, you made it through. You are here. And that is enough. That is more than enough. You are safe. And you are here. Bring your awareness gently to your feet now. Just notice them and allow them to soften. The toes uncurling, the arches releasing. All the small held tension of the day simply letting go. Let that softness travel upward, through the calves, through the knees, the thighs. All of it warm, all of it heavy, all of it resting now. Your lower back, your hips. Allow yourself to feel the surface beneath you taking your weight completely, fully. You don't have to hold yourself up anymore. The earth has you. The sky has you. The belly soft. The chest soft. The heart beating steadily as it always has, as it always will. Your shoulders dropping, your arms heavy and warm, your hands open and still, the neck long and loose, and your face, let the jaw go. Let the forehead smooth. Let the eyes be completely still behind their lids. There you are, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, completely soft, completely warm, completely at rest. You've done beautifully. Now, let me take you somewhere. Somewhere the tower is old, and the telescope is older, and the astronomer has been here since the sun went down, and the sky above is everything it has ever been. Come with me. The hill, a hill at the edge of a town, not a large town, a university town, the kind of town that has existed for its learning for several centuries. The old colleges, the library, the lecture halls, and on the hill above the town, the observatory, the tower, built in the early 18th century. 300 years. 300 years of clear nights and clouded nights and the nights in between. 300 years of people climbing these stairs to look at the sky. The hill itself old. The hill was here before the town. The hill was here before anyone thought to build on it. The hill being what hills are: patient, enduring, giving the extra elevation that the astronomer needs above the town below. Even 50 meters above the rooftops. The difference in the quality of the seeing. Less atmosphere, less turbulence, less of the heat shimmer that rises from the town and blurs the stars. 50 meters. Significant. The tower, stone, built from the same stone as the university below. The limestone that was everywhere in this region, that was quarried nearby, that built everything old in this town. Circular, the tower circular, the most stable form, the form that resists the wind from all directions equally, the form that a person choosing this site in 1712 chose deliberately for its stability. The dome at the top, the original dome, hand-forged iron, its surface now darkened by 3 centuries of weather, its movement mechanism still the original mechanism, though much repaired. The dome that opens, that slides to one side, revealing the sky, the slot through which the telescope points, the slot through which 300 years of stars have been observed, the stars that were there before the slot was made, the stars that will be there after the dome has fallen, still there, looking through, the warmth below, the observation room, not the dome room, the room below the dome, the room where the notes are kept, where the instrument cases are stored, where the small stove sits. The small stove, cast iron, old, in the observation room for perhaps 100 years. Not the original furnishing, added later, when someone understood that astronomers are cold, that the cold of the dome room, where the astronomer must be to observe, seeps down into the stone of the building and into the observation room below. The stove, going, the coal in it, not the roaring heat of a domestic fire. The observatory stove is kept low. The astronomers learned this. Heat makes air turbulent. Turbulent air makes the seeing bad. The stove kept low, just enough, the warmth of just enough. The observation room slightly warmer than outside. Not warm, warmer. The smell, the observation room, its smell, Old, the smell of old stone and old wood, and the particular mineral smell of scientific instruments, the brass of the telescope, the glass of the lenses, the iron of the mounting, and the stove, the coal smoke of the stove, very faint, finding its way down from the dome and mixing with the other smells, and paper, the logbooks, the observation records, 300 years of logbooks on the shelves, 3 centuries of clear nights and clouded nights written down, the notes of thousands of observations, the handwriting changing generation by generation, the writing style changing as the century changed, but the records continuous, the paper smell of 3 centuries of records, the smell of looking, preserved, Yelianowar. Her name is Aliner, not the Aliner of the greenhouse, a different Aliner. She is 61. She has been the astronomer at this observatory for 27 years. Before her, her predecessor, who served for 33 years. Before that, another. The line of astronomers at this tower going back to the founding, 300 years. Not the same person, the same role, the same tower, the same sky. She climbed the stairs this afternoon at 4. As the last light was leaving, she set up for the night. The dome opened. The telescope directed. She has been observing since 6. 4 hours now. 4 hours of this sky. She is not cold. She is accustomed to the cold. 27 winters on this hill. The cold is simply part of it. Part of the observatory. Part of the work. The telescope. The refractor. The great refractor of this observatory. Its lens, the objective lens, ground in 1847, 177 years old. The glass of it, old optical glass, the glass of the 19th century, slightly green tinged, as old glass is still clear, still gathering light, still doing what it was made to do. The focal length of it, long, very long, the tube of the telescope stretching up through the domes, opening toward the sky, 3 meters long, the telescope that the astronomers before Aliner used, the telescope that observed the transit of Venus in 1874, that measured the parallax of Mars, that mapped the double stars of the northern sky over decades of patient observation. The same telescope, Aliner's hands on its controls, the slow motion drives moving the telescope to follow the sky's rotation, the earth turning beneath her, the telescope compensating, staying on the object, keeping it in the field, what she is looking at. Tonight, Saturn is well placed this winter, high in the southern sky, the rings tilted toward the earth, the tilt that shows the rings most fully. The rings in the eyepiece, Saturn's rings. Aliner has looked at Saturn through this telescope for 27 years. She still pauses every time. The rings, the thing that Galileo saw in 1610 and could not understand. He described Saturn as having ears. The thing that Huygens resolved in 1659 as a ring around a planet, billions of kilometers from here. In the eyepiece, visible, present, the rings, she pauses every time she sees them. She cannot help it. 27 years. Still, a pause. The sky tonight. January. The best month. The best sky. The cold air of January, holding less moisture than summer air. Less water vapor. Less scattering. The stars more present. More themselves. More point-like. The seeing, the astronomical term for the steadiness of the image. The seeing tonight is exceptional. Alina noted it in the logbook when she arrived. Seeing 1. The scale goes from 1 to 5. 1 is the best. Tonight, seeing 1. The steadiest air she has seen in months. The stars not twinkling, or barely twinkling. Twinkling is turbulence. The turbulence of the atmosphere, bending the light as it passes. On a seeing 1 night, the stars almost still, almost points, almost themselves. The planets, which are disks, not points, even at this distance. The planets sharp-edged. Saturn's rings, the Cassini division clearly visible. The gap in the rings, named for the 17th century astronomer who first observed it. Alina sees it tonight. Clearly, the gap, the space within the rings of ice and rock, separated by gravity into their lanes. The logbook on the desk below the dome. Alina's logbook, the current one, number 47 in the observatory series. Number 47 in an unbroken series going back to 1712. She keeps the logbook the way all the previous astronomers kept it. The date, the time, the weather conditions, the seeing, the objects observed, the measurements taken, the notes, tonight's entry already begun. January 14th. Clear, temp -4C, seeing 1. Wind nil. Saturn, rings showing Cassini division clearly. Ring A and B well defined. Titan visible at 9 o'clock position. She will add more before the night is done. The logbook filling as the logbooks before it filled. The record continuing. The sky recorded, night by night, for 300 years. What the records show. 300 years of records. Alina has read them. All of them. All 47 logbooks. Over her 27 years. Not obsessively. Simply they are here. The history of this sky. She has read them. The records show the sky unchanged, or very nearly. The stars in the same positions. The planets moving as they always move. The double stars in their orbits. The variable stars varying. The sky in 1712 and the sky tonight. The same sky, the same stars, the same patterns, the same universe. The records also show the astronomers, their personalities, their interests, their observations of things that are not the sky. The note in 1803, A fox was seen crossing the dome room last night. How it entered the building, I cannot say. The note in 1851. The comet visible in the northwest. The people of the town are saying it is an omen. They are not wrong that it is remarkable. They are wrong that it is an omen. The note in 1917. No observation tonight. My brother is in France. The records showing the sky and the people who watched it. The cold, the dome room, open to the sky, the slot open, the air, cold, very cold, -4 outside tonight. Inside the dome, -3. The dome providing some shelter, but not much. A leaner is dressed for it. The layers, the thermal underlayer, the thick trousers, the coat, the hat, the gloves, the fingerless gloves that allow her to operate the telescope's controls while keeping most of her hand warm. The cold she has learned to receive rather than resist. The cold is part of the observation. The cold is what keeps the air stable. Cold air, still air, clear seeing. The seeing one night requires this cold. She has made her peace with it. Long ago, the cold and the stars, together, both required, both present, both hers. The pause. She steps back from the eyepiece. She does this periodically, not because she needs to, because she has learned to. The long, close observation, the eye pressed to the eyepiece, the mind focused on the small, bright disk of Saturn. This is intense. The pause is part of the work. She steps back. She looks at the sky, the whole sky, not through the telescope, with her eyes, the ordinary eyes, the eyes that can take in the whole dome of the sky at once, the eyes that see less detail than the telescope, but see more sky. The Milky Way, present tonight, the winter Milky Way, the portion of the galaxy visible in winter from the northern hemisphere, running from the northeast to the southwest. Its band denser here near Orion, thinner there toward the horizon, the same Milky Way that was above Yusef's desert, above the Japanese valley, above the Norwegian fjord, the same, seen from this tower. On this night, her Milky Way, what Elianor, Knows. She knows the sky, personally, not abstractly, not from the textbooks, though she knows those too. Personally, the way Miriam knows the clay, the way Kenji knows the patties. She knows the sky of this latitude, at this time of year, from this tower, the stars that rise in the east at 9 in January, the stars that set in the west at 4, the ones that are above the horizon all night. She knows the planets, where they are. She knows without looking at an ephemeris. She knows the double stars. She knows the globular clusters, the dense spherical collections of hundreds of thousands of stars, ancient objects, some of them almost as old as the universe itself. She knows which ones this telescope can resolve, which of them the seeing one night will show at their best. She knows what the sky is doing, every hour, the way Alvaro knows the sea, by being in it long enough. The observation room again. She comes down from the dome room into the observation room. The warmth of the stove, relative warmth, the difference between the dome and the observation room is perhaps 8 degrees. 8 degrees. Enormous. She removes her outer gloves. She holds her hands near the stove, not too close. The rapid heating of cold fingers is uncomfortable. Near, letting the warmth find them slowly, the way things should be warmed. Slowly, she makes tea, the kettle on the stove's surface. Not a fast boil, the stove not hot enough for that. A slow boil, the kettle eventually sounding. She makes her tea. She sits on the old wooden chair that has been in this room for longer than she has. She opens the logbook. She reads yesterday's entry, the entry from the night before. She does this sometimes. During the breaks, the logbook as conversation with the people who were here before her, 30 years before. She reads an entry from 30 years before she arrived. Her predecessor, a note about Saturn, about the rings, a January night, exceptionally clear, seeing one, the same words, the Cassini division clearly visible, the same observation, the same sky, a different person, standing where she stands, looking where she looks, 30 years before, the same feeling. She knows the feeling, the pause when the rings appear, the still moment. She knows her predecessor had the same moment because she reads it in the entry. The way the note is written, the way it slows. The rings are extraordinary tonight. 4 words in the professional record, a professional understatement. The rings are extraordinary tonight. She knows what those 4 words mean. She has felt them herself. 27 years of January nights. Still extraordinary. Growing still. The stove is glowing. The tea is in the cup. The logbook is open. The telescope is above. The dome is open. The sky is above the dome. Saturn is in the field. The Cassini division is clear. Alina is in her chair. If thoughts are arriving, and they probably are, because that is what minds do, even in an observatory on a seeing one night, they are not staying long. The sky takes them, the sky that has been there for 14 billion years, takes the thoughts of a single night very easily. They come, you notice them, the sky receives them, as it receives everything, the light from dying stars, the signals from distant galaxies, everything received, impartially, completely. You don't need to hold any of them. Just the stove, just the tea, just the logbook, just Alina in her chair, just the Saturn above. The rings extraordinary. Peace lives in this tower, in the logbooks and the telescope, and the stove and Alina's 27 winters of looking at the sky that has always been there. Tonight it is yours. Good night. You are doing so beautifully. The day is done. You came to the tower tonight. You climbed the hill. The stove was going. The dome was open. Alina showed you Saturn in the eyepiece, the rings, the Cassini division, Titan at 9 o'clock. You stood under the winter Milky Way. You sat with her in the observation room while she read the logbook. The observatory received you, as this observatory has received people for 300 years. With the cold and the stars and the logbook and the particular, extraordinary, completely reliable presence of the sky that was always there and will always be there, carry it with you on the small days, the days when everything seems too close and too urgent and too much. Remember the tower. Remember Saturn. Remember that the rings were extraordinary 300 years ago and extraordinary tonight and will be extraordinary tomorrow. Remember that the sky has been there every night, whether you looked or not, always there. You know the way here now, but tonight you are already here. The stove is warm. The telescope is pointed. The sky is above. Sleep now, deeply, completely. You deserve every star sharp, cold clear, ringlit, logbook deep, sky ancient moment of this rest. Every single one. Good night. Sleep well. The tower through the night. Saturn through the night. Saturn moves. The Earth turning beneath the fixed telescope. The slow motion drive compensating. But the drive requires adjustment. Alina checks it. Every hour, she comes back to the dome. She looks. She adjusts. She writes. Saturn position unchanged from last hour. Titan now at 10 o'clock. Seeing still exceptional. No cloud. She goes back below. She makes more tea. She reads. She waits. This is the work. Not just the looking. The waiting. The patience of astronomy. The patience of watching something that moves very slowly. The patience of 300 years of logbooks. All of it patience. The logbooks, 47 logbooks, on the shelf, in order. Number 1, begun in 1712. Its cover dark with age, its pages fragile. The writing of the first astronomer of this tower in a script that requires concentration to read. The first entries, the first observations, the same sky, seen for the first time from this tower. The first astronomer's excitement, visible even in the formal language of scientific record. He saw what we see. He was surprised by it. The surprise preserved in the yellowed pages, in the careful script, 300 years old. The surprise still there. The cold and the stars. The dome room at midnight. -5 now. The temperature dropping as the night deepens. The sky responding. The seeing still one. The air stable. The cold doing what cold does to the atmosphere. Stilling it. Reducing the turbulence. The stars responding. More themselves. More present. More sharp. Alina in the dome room. Her breath visible in the cold air. the small clouds of breath rising, dispersing, the telescope still, Saturn in the field, the rings extraordinary. She has been awake since before dawn. She will observe until 3, then sleep until 8, then the day, the ordinary day, the paperwork and the email and the meeting, and then the next clear night. Back here, this dome, this sky, this patience. What 47 logbooks tell you? That the sky is reliable, that it does what it has always done, that the planets move in the paths they have always moved, that the stars are where they have always been. This is not trivial. The reliability of the sky. In 300 years of this observatory, the sky has never failed to be itself. Cloudy nights, the sky is still there above the cloud. The astronomers know this. The sky above the cloud, still the sky, still reliable, still doing what it does. The logbooks record the cloudy nights. Cloud, no observation, but the sky was there, above the cloud, as it always is, as it will always be, whether anyone is looking or not. The winter stars, Orion, the great constellation of the winter sky. The hunter, the warrior, the figure that cultures across the world have seen in these 7 stars for as long as cultures have been looking. Betelgeuse at the shoulder, red, the red of a giant star, a star so large that if placed at the center of our solar system, it would swallow Jupiter. Still there, burning as it was burning when the first astronomer opened this dome, as it was burning when Galileo looked, as it was burning when the pyramids were built. Orion above the dome, Eleanor below it, the scale of it, the Milky Way, the winter Milky Way, running through Orion, the galaxy arm, the arm we are in, looking along it, the same arm Yusuf looked into from the Sahara, the same stars, from this tower, in January, cold, sharp, extraordinary, Eleanor's morning. She comes down from the dome at 3. She enters the observation room, the stove cooling. She did not add coal at midnight. The room colder now. She closes the logbook. She notes the time, 3:14. She writes, observation concluded. Excellent night. Saturn seeing 1 throughout, 12 hours of clear sky. She closes the logbook. She puts it on the shelf. With the others, 47 of them, she closes the dome, the mechanism engaging, the dome closing over the sky still there. Above the closed dome, she turns off the instruments. She goes down the stairs, the same stairs she has climbed and descended for 27 years. She crosses the courtyard. She goes to her rooms in the small building beside the tower. She removes her coat, her hat, her layers. She lies down. She does not need long to fall asleep. The body that has been cold and attentive for 12 hours. Ready, she sleeps, and the sky is above the dome, above the hill, above the town, above everything, still there, as it always is, the stars turning, slowly, very slowly, as they always turn, as they will always turn, the sky patient, waiting for the next clear night, for a leaner to come back, for the dome to open, for the looking to begin. Again, the dome is closed. The telescope is covered. The logbook is on the shelf. Number 47. A leaner is asleep. The stove is cooling. The cold is in the dome room. Saturn is above the dome. The rings extraordinary. Titan at 11 o'clock. The Cassini division. Clear. The Milky Way is above the town. Orion is above the Milky Way. Betelgeuse is red, as it has always been red, and the sky is patient, waiting for the next clear night, and you are sleeping deeply, completely, peacefully in the observation room, the stove glowing, the logbooks on the shelf, 300 years of looking, and the sky above, always above, whether the dome is open or not, always there. This is exactly where you should be. This is exactly what you deserve. Every star sharp, cold clear ringlet, logbook deep, sky ancient moment. Every single one. You are safe. You are held. You are at peace. Good night, dear friend. Sleep well. Sleep deeply. Good night.